right, folks, welcome back to PEG Wrestling, baby. We are here, and we have a great show today, folks. I'm not even joking, okay? We have the new Iowa lineup, and Dr. Brands has been in surgery, folks. We're going to get into it. In hindsight, with that, we have the Penn State 3-year plan. Kevin has broken down the 3-year plan. This is 100% what their plan is as of this moment, folks, for the next 3 years. I mean, Kevin, we have news. We have news coming in faster than a Ferrari moves schools right now. Kevin, am I right? Am I right? I mean, seriously.
Tons of stuff to go over.
That we have Wrestle Madness, given their 118 through 125 pound all-time bracket. Folks are going to come on and join us here later in the show. And I don't know, have you heard of Spencer Lee? Yeah, he's in that bracket, folks. So you're going to want to stay with us until that segment. But Kevin, so many things have happened. How have you been, man?
I've been good, man. There is no off season, you know.
Kevin, our stat man, folks. Yeah, and you're right. Nowadays, there is no off season in wrestling. I mean, Kevin, you've done research beyond comprehension here. 8 pages. I have 8 pages of topics for today's show, folks. It's unbelievable.
We got enough for the rest of the year. I'll tell you that
I know.
much.
And it's only 1 week. So if you thought wrestling was boring, folks, think again. We are here. And Kevin, I want to throw it to you for your 15-minute segment. We have Aaron from Wrestle Madness joining us a little later. And, folks, after that, feel free to call in and join the show live. Last week we had, I'm not sure if it was Donald Trump or not, but we did have Sean Bourmet on, and he was incredible. So, Kevin, let's go to you for some updates from this past week.
Yeah, first off, we got U17s going on, World Championships over in Amman, Jordan, for those who dared to take the trip over there. And the Greco is done. The women's is just wrapping up, and the guys started. For Greco, we had our usual United States performance. We did have 2 medalists, though, the Rainey brothers, twin brothers.
Have to mention
which
them.
was awesome. They are just, they're unbelievable. We had, let's see here, Jordan. I keep getting them confused.
Is Jordan the one with that comeback victory that I watched highlights of? And correct me if I'm wrong, these kids are going to Iowa, correct?
Who knows? They could go to Illinois, Iowa. Who knows?
Okay,
we don't really know. But I mean, they're a package deal, though. So
they're a package deal.
Yep, Jaden was actually the one that won gold at 55 kilograms, and Jordan was the defending champion of last year. He won U17 Greco last year, but he lost in the semis, 1-to-1 criteria, ended up getting a bronze medal. So we got a gold and a bronze out of these 2. And the other 8 wrestlers, no medals. Some quick stats for you. These guys dominated the matches they were in. They won a combined 9-1. And they had, let's see here. They had, let's see, 409-1.
Folks, join the comments. Wrestle Madness commented he believes they did commit to Iowa. I also was under the impression they had already committed to Iowa. Kevin.
I don't think so. They've committed to Iowa? I think
so.
Terry would be posting that every day if they did. maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe not. Maybe
I don't
not,
think they committed yet.
Anyway, summarize them up, yeah.
Yeah, they had 2 pins and 4 techs out of their 9 wins, and they just dominated the and before he made the final and won, before Jaden won, he was down 6-0 in the semis. He pinned the guy. It just a freaking power, just ran him over, ran right through him, power half, just boom, right on his back. And the finals was unbelievable. He won 7-5, but he did this gut wrench where he arched his back, and the strength that he had to do it was just unbelievable. These guys are gritty, and whoever does get them is very fortunate because they could change the whole culture of a wrestling team. These 2, they grind, man, and
they're absolute dogs.
Yeah, they are, and they wrestled each other to go to the freestyle part too. They had to wrestle in the finals because Jaden ended up bumping up to 60 for the freestyle portion, and So they had to wrestle each other, which kind of sucked in the final. But so we got one of them is actually doing both. I got to get the names right. Jesus. Jaden. So Jaden Jordan. Why do they have to have the names that just are exactly like that? It's unbelievable.
Just say Jay.
Jay. They let's see here. Freestyle Greco. Anyway,
I've heard rumors are going to Iowa, Kevin, and now maybe I'll say this. Maybe
I don't think so.
It was from one of my insiders because the people out in Iowa absolutely love BEG wrestling. I can't say enough. They can't say enough about BEG. I hear it all the time in the streets of Iowa, Kevin. You probably hear it too on the Iowa forums, praising BEG, the honest, the truthful show. I mean, they absolutely love us out in Iowa. I appreciate you Hawkeye fans. And, maybe I was getting ahead of myself with these rumors, Things are happening quick out there.
No, yeah, I don't think they haven't committed yet. But Jordan is the one that actually is actually doing freestyle and Greco. And talking about freestyle, the guys kicked off today, 5 weights. We had all 5 guys made the quarterfinals, which was a great start. And then we had 4 of them make the semis. Then the semis happened. And unfortunately, we lost the first one, second one, third one. But Mako tech-falled his guy. He's tech-falled everyone in the tournament. And he's going to be wrestling for a gold medal tomorrow, which is awesome. The other 3 guys are still going to be wrestling for a bronze, which is still, very good. And then we got 5 more weights kicking off tomorrow. As far as women's go, the big news of the women's, which she was just an absolute, I can't believe how bad she's dominated this bracket. But I hope I pronounce her name right. Tiana.
Don't worry about it if you say it wrong, Kevin. It's not like we don't make mistakes.
She actually, she did not get scored upon. She outscored her opponents 29-0.
Okay.
And she had a pin, 3 pins and a tech, including the finals. And here's the kicker. She has 2 more years left in this age group at U17. So we're talking about
she's 15.
Starting off more impressive than a Laura even did, because she lost her first year at cadets. So, I mean,
it sounds like you might want to learn how to say her name, Kevin. Oh my goodness, seriously. Insulting over there.
She's unbelievable. I know it's got a different spelling, and I knew it too. I was like, man, I should probably look that up and figure out how to spell it before.
Just write it how it sounds.
Taina. But anyway, so then outside of that, we're gonna go over the lineups. We got AJ to Bakersfield, Kale Bakersfield.
Okay. Should we let me put up, as we go in to discuss this, I'll put up the new projected Iowa lineup for this upcoming season. But first, as Kevin, you mentioned, AJ Ferrari, where's he going?
It's going to Bakersfield.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure, Kevin, I'm not even joking. I'm pretty sure he moved as far away from BEG wrestling as he could possibly get. That boy is scared of us. Kevin, I know it. I will never get him on for an interview now. Cal, come on. AJ. All right, go ahead, Kevin.
Talk about going from riches to rags. I mean, this guy is an NCAA champ his freshman year, right? And you saw his list. It was very limited, right? And this is where he ends up. So, I mean, you really got to take a look at yourself in the mirror when this happens, right? I was an NCAA champion my freshman year, and nobody wants me. Why is that?
Well, he certainly doesn't have a Bo Bassett kind of list. We could talk about that, but hey, what are his real chances? Does he have a real chance of winning a national championship this year, Kevin? Let me ask you that.
No way.
No way.
I don't know. I don't think that he is what he once was, and he's going to have to get back into it. And who knows if he can even make 197. He looks pretty big.
So, hold up.
Don't see it.
Is that because of the coaches that are going to be surrounding him? What is the quality of this coaching staff out there? Do you even know? I have no idea. I mean, is he surrounded by people that are better than him? Because that's what it takes to make a national champion. And I'm pretty sure that's the kind of environment that he was probably in when he did win a national championship. Has he gone to maybe I'm just saying.
Well, he was in Oklahoma State, right? And if he's going to do whatever he wants there under John Smith, then imagine he's going to do whatever he wants at Bakersfield, and they're probably going to let him. But
I don't think he was doing whatever he wanted to do under John Smith, and that's kind of my point. That's why he won a national championship. He had a little discipline.
Yeah, he's not going to get
as Cartman on South Park would say.
They're just happy to have him there. You know what I'm saying? They're happy to have him there. They're not going to bother with, it's going to be a disaster.
I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him to make some noise
I hope
out
he
there.
does good, man. Better wrestling, the better, right?
Make some noise out there, AJ. Fire up that engine, baby. Keep going, Kevin.
Oh, Zach, real quick. The Buffalo Bills roster cut is going to be this coming Tuesday, where they're going down to the 53-player roster from 91 players. And as you know, I went to training camp a couple days, checked out Gable. I live right a mile down the road from where their training camp is. And I'm telling you right now, there's this chance that he makes that cut. 0. He is not going to make the cut. Not even a chance. Even if McDermott likes him as a wrestling, he's not going to make it. Is he going to make the practice squad? I don't see it. I don't see him making that either because
he has to make the practice squad, Kevin, out of pride from Sean McDermott. He's not going to bring him on and make himself look like an idiot by not even having him on the practice. Plus, he had Cale Sanderson in to talk to the team, Kevin.
He might look like an idiot if he has him on the practice squad. A practice squad is a scouting squad, right? So you're going to put players on there to scout other teams. Gable is 2 inches shorter than the shortest guy at his position and 30 pounds lighter. So not the best guy to have scouting. And I know people are like, well, he'll make up for it with his speed and his strength. Let me tell you, these guys run 4.8, 4.9 40s in his position. And they're benching 2 1/4, 40 to 50 times. So he's not going to make up for it in speed, strength, or he's not going to make up for it in experience. He's just put on cleats and a helmet for the first time a few months ago. There's no way he's going to make the squad. And he gets the, everyone asks, well, what's he getting paid? Is he getting paid? He got paid for this section, the training camp and everything, $13,000 total. He does not get that contract that he signed unless he makes this 53-man roster. Okay, so that, 3-year, whatever, $1 million contract, he's not getting that unless he makes the roster. If he makes the practice squad, he would get, it comes out to be, for a practice squad player that's a rookie, gets $225,000 a year for the whole 18 weeks. So I don't know, man. I don't see it because he's not a good player.
Gable's got a lot of money on the line right now.
Yeah,
he's got. My goodness.
Which makes me wonder. Okay, if he's cut, I wonder if he's still enrolled in any kind of classes at Minnesota, or did he graduate? Because I don't know.
Or I know where he could get a paycheck. I'm talking about Iowa, Kevin. And first of all, before we get into this, there's been a lot of rumors. Okay, a lot of these rumors have actually turned out to be true, folks. That we kind of touched on even weeks ago when we had Terry on. However, before I get into Dr. Tom Brand's brain, I just want to make everyone aware that Iowa's head football coach and Don at Iowa, he's the godfather at Iowa, Kirk Ferentz. Did you hear what he just did? He just gave himself, folks, a self-imposed 1-game ban for recruiting violations. Oh, yeah, that's a fact. Self-imposed, which means what he's basically saying is, please do not come further investigate us. Okay? And he's the godfather at Iowa, and all these rumors of Tom Brands and what I was doing, and, I'm just going to say it might be a ticking time bomb going on there at Iowa, Kevin. Am I crazy?
No, man. Whenever someone gives themselves a self-ban, that's exactly, they want to be like, don't worry, we got it. We got it under control. We're taking care of it.
When's the last time you gave yourself a self-imposed ban, Kevin?
Speaking of South Park, Officer Bar Brady, nothing to see here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time, did I ever tell my parents to no, I don't. That is a clear red flag. So, let me self-impose ban. Okay, so it's a red flag. NCAA has to investigate further here, folks. And right beside Kirk Ferentz, I hate to say it, is going to be Tom Brands. And we hear all these rumors. And let's just be honest, dude, what are these rumors? They are rumors, but it's that Iowa is just offering people money before they're even in the transfer portal. Do you believe that this is happening? Or
it doesn't even exist, does it? The transfer portal. Is there any rules anymore? I mean, it's just a free-for-all. And it's, I know, I mean, Teemer he's there already. He's done. Buchanan, that's a done deal. Teemer and Buchanan are in Iowa. And that's it, and they don't care. Because I was going to say with Gable, I was like, well, Iowa's not going to talk to Gable. They got Keeter. Well, they don't care. They don't care who they have. They don't care.
I asked Sean Bourmet. We asked Sean Bourmet last week, are these dollar figures true? And his answer was kind of like, mostly he doesn't believe it, but he certainly did not discredit anything by any means, right, during that interview. And so who knows? Did Iowa just get a little perturbed at maybe Oklahoma State and David Taylor throwing around money, and they say, okay, well, let me tell you something, dude. We got money too. Let's go get Teemer. Let's go get Buchanan. Tom Brands in a little bit of desperation mode, let's be honest. Is his job on the line? It is. It is. As much as
big time
Iowa, and they love us out in Iowa. I hear them saying it out in Iowa all the time. We love BEG wrestling so much. So I hate to say this, but I think Tom's in trouble, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, you got to wonder how the room is, how the guys are taking this in the room. And I know Willie talked about a couple of rumors, which I kind of digging through what it sounds like it's so true and what isn't. He said Parco was wanting to go up to 157. That to me sounds like total crap because it doesn't make sense. A guy you're gonna pay this guy to come over, right? Parco, who's been a 141 then a 149 pounder his whole career, and after you give him the money or whatever, and he's there, and his teammate and friend is thinking of coming over, Teemer, you're just gonna say, I'm thinking about going 157 now, and also it's his last shot at the title, so it doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't think that's true at all with Parco thinking of that. It doesn't make any sense at all. Well, Teemer is said to be weighing real heavy, and I know he gets big in the offseason. Teemer gets big in the offseason. He always has, but he's got to go 57. It doesn't fit anywhere else, So
yeah, so we're going to break down how this does make sense for Tom Brands in Iowa. So this new look lineup that we have up on the screen, Kevin, and you kind of broke it down into how many additional points this will actually mean for the Iowa Hawkeyes, right? So why don't you talk a little bit about how this will actually translate into NCAA points?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people talking about Glazier, and rightfully so. He had a solid year. But when I really dug deep into his year, he was like, 21-1 or something going into Big Tens. His only loss was to Aaron Brooks, and he had a decent match with him, 5-1.
Yeah.
Then Big Ten finals, he got teched by Brooks. Looking at the quality of competition, though, he had 2 quality matches, what they call quality matches, the entire year. And he goes into NCAAs, and he loses to the 26th seed, and then he wins a match, and then he loses again. He's 1-2 and done. He scores 1.5 points for the team. So looking at the landscape of 197 again, I think I would put him around the 8th or 9th ranking, Glazier, if he was in there for Iowa. And then you got Buchanan, who finished 3rd last year. He beat Cardenas pretty good for 3rd and 4th, and the 2 guys above him are gone. So you got to figure if Carter is going 184, Buchanan's the favorite to win 197. So I would figure there's about a 20 to 22 point difference there between Glazier and Buchanan, in my opinion. I think you're looking at an 8th place guy or not even a podium to a to a finalist. Huge.
That is huge.
So, I mean, that's big. And then you got Teemer, who was a national runner-up last year. Assuming he makes 57, his biggest competition will be, Meyer Shapiro, Daniel Cardenas, and probably Kazak, I'm guessing, is going to go 57 at Penn State. So I'm guessing that's his main competition. So
Favorite.
Yeah, he's going to
He's
be
a
the
favorite.
So,
oh my goodness.
I don't see Iowa getting on the podium. I know they would not be getting on the podium if Teemer wasn't there. So you're looking at about a 20, 22 point difference there as well. I mean, that's
Incredible.
45 points. With that being said, I think Iowa is as a trophy team. So you spend this possibly $1 million on two guys, they say, $500,000 apiece. Are you just going to lose to Penn State by 30 points now instead of 70? Or, you know what I mean?
Okay, well, we can get in, and we will get into the Penn State lineup. But before we do, I got a couple questions on this proposed lineup that you have here. Like, can Ayala actually make 125?
I don't think he can, to be honest with you. I don't.
But does he have a choice anymore?
I don't think that I think he's a guy that his size, just kind of like Braden Davis, I think his size really helped him at 125, and it's obviously not going to at 133. So I don't know. I think that he really has to make 25 for the lineup and for himself. Because he's a title contender at 25. I don't see him. I see a Nasir Bailey or a Ryan Crookham throwing him around at 33. Just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Kevin, I was going to break down the Penn State lineup separately, but since you kind of brought it up, let's put these two lineups, folks, right up beside each other, and let's kind of break that down and compare them here. So we have Ayala, Lillendahl, Kevin, and just your instant reaction, who wins these matches. Lillendahl, Ayala at 125.
Believe it or not, I think Lillendahl could win NCAAs next year. I know that sounds crazy, but I think he could win NCAAs. I think that match is a coin flip. By the end of the year, though, at NCAAs, I'll go Lillendahl.
Okay, I'll go coin flip there. How about you got Nagao and Shriver or Peterson at 133?
So what I got is I got Nagao starting because he's already used his red shirt, and I got Davis taking a red shirt so he can kind of grow into the weight. I got Shriver winning that match.
Okay.
Decision.
Okay, let's say 3-3. Then we move to 141, Ryder Block or Cannon versus Bartlett.
Bartlett can get a major if he shoots. So let's say a decision because
Bartlett not known for majors. Yeah, let's go decision there. 6-3 Penn State. Moving to 149 would take us to Parco and Van Ness. Ooh, what a matchup.
I like Van Ness.
Okay, well, that could kind of – okay. You'll go Van Ness. 157, Kazak and Teemer. Yep.
I like end of the year, Teemer will be in shape. I like Teemer. He's it'll be a good match, but Teemer will beat him. Yeah.
That makes it, 9-6 Iowa and 165 Messenbrink Caliendo. Yeah. No one is messing with Messenbrink.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that
major.
right now this year.
That's a major.
That's a major. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's go 10-9 then. Takes us to 174, Facundo and Gabe Arnold or Patrick Kennedy.
So here I got Levi Haynes taking a red shirt.
Yep. I think everyone.
Facundo's already used his red shirt, and if he's not in the lineup, you're burning a year with him. So that's why Levi Haynes is not in this lineup.
We'll move right after this into the Penn State 3-year plan, folks.
All right.
But,
so I would say, man, this is I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I'm gonna give it. I'll give it to Iowa. I'll give it to Iowa decision.
Yep, 12-10 Iowa. Moving to 184, Storaci and Nelson Brands.
This match was a 2-1 match a couple of years ago. It was a 2-1 match a couple of years ago.
I can see that being an absolute dogfight, those two.
So, yeah,
First of all, Nelson Brands is my bet, folks, for comeback wrestler of the year. He's coming back with not one but 2 chips on his shoulder and 2 chips in the middle of the pot.
2 chips from Vegas, right?
And he's all in. All his chips. So many chips, dude. Nelson Brands, comeback wrestler of the year, although I would have to give that to Storaci, which would put Penn State up 13-12. takes us to 197. Josh Barr's a dog, but Stephen Buchanan might be a bigger dog.
Buchanan is too big for him. I know I'll get into why Barr is in the lineup there when we go over the thing. But
okay. Yep.
So
finally, at heavyweight, Kirk and Keeter. I have Iowa up 15-13 going into the heavyweight bout.
Well, Kirk wins.
Well, that would make it 16-15. Penn State wins. However, yikes. One little injury here or slip up
here's
there.
The thing.
And
here's the thing. In that lineup, you don't have a Haynes or Marisola at 197.
So what? They're not going to be there. Yeah, that's facts.
If there was an injury, you could pull their red shirts.
And the facts are Teemer is in and Buchanan is in now.
Yeah, it does get it's a lot closer though with these lineups than I thought. Now, dual meet and team tournament is two different things though. You know,
it is.
When you're looking at Iowa's lineup, how many guys there do you think will win NCAAs or even finalists? I mean, I see maybe
two who just came right in.
Three potential finalists, maybe, or actually, Buchanan, Teemer, Aola, has already been a finalist. Caliendo could be a finalist at 65. He's not going to win, but he could be a finalist.
Let's listen. I think we pretty much clarified Iowa is here, Penn State is here, and they're very close, right? They're very close right now. All of a sudden, Iowa came out of nowhere. How quickly, I must say, we forgot about Oklahoma State. RBY goes to Oklahoma State, Kevin.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it seems like, is Rome dividing? Has Rome been divided? Because now there's a second option for these Penn State. And I asked myself, and you provided, what is the Penn State 3-year plan here, folks? And Kevin, you were nice enough to put up an actual graphic of real research of their next 3-year plan. Why don't you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, I racked my brain over this because I was thinking to myself, I don't think people understand the depth that Penn State has and is going to have. It's ridiculous. Not even close to listing all the names up there. All right, I just put some of the heavy hitters up there as far as like red shirts. Next year's lineup, I did put Lillidahl in to start. Nagao, as long as he's not injured, he has something wrong with his shoulder. He'll be in there while Davis red shirts. And then Bartlett, Van Ness. Kazak missed weight at U20s at 70 kilograms, which is 154 pounds. He missed the weight class. So he's going to be a 57 guy. Messenbrink, I know some people are like, oh, I don't know why, but people think Messenbrink is bigger than he is. I have no idea why. Ben Askren said he could have made 57 last year had he needed to. So He's a career 165 guy, I think. And then 74, do you put Levi Haynes in at 74? Folks, he will not ever wrestle 157 again. Let's get that squared away. He is not going to be at 157.
Levi Haynes no longer at 157 ever.
Yeah, it's not going to ever happen. Just like Kazak will never be at. Some people are talking Kazak at 141. No way, he won't even be at 149. So I would say, why waste Facundo, who had a really tight match with Levi Haynes in freestyle, by the way, at the trials, and beat Levi Haynes. Why not put Facundo in so you don't waste his year? Give Haynes a red shirt. Let Haynes grow into 174 a little bit more, right? And he has the red shirt to burn. And then the Starocki going 84. Christian Piles is very adamant on the fact he's going 184. He says it on Flu all the time without any hesitation. He's going 184. So I'm gonna go with that. He's going 184. Now, what that does, however, is you either got to put Marisola in, Connor, at 197, or Joshua Barr. Barr redshirted last year, so I think it would make sense to put him in, because if you don't put him in, you're just burning the year. So I know it's a year of him wrestling a heavier weight, but it's either that or you burn the year.
Let me tell you something about Josh Barr too. He's a dog. He deserves a chance on
tough,
this team.
Man. So I think you got the Marisolas, Davis, and Haynes redshirting next year. Now the year after, I still got Lillidahl there. I put Davis in at 33. I moved Nagao up for his senior year at 141. Nagao actually was a 141 pounder initially when he came into college. Then you got Van Ness for his senior year. Now things start to, they're starting to get a little funky. I put Joe Seeley in because Joe Seeley, I don't have him listed on there, but he would actually be redshirting this coming season.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than burn a year, I put Joe Seeley in there, and then I put Kazak to do a red shirt. Then you got Messenbrink Haynes. Now 184 is going to be, who knows? You got three options. You got Zach Ryder, who is an absolute stud, who for his senior season,
potential phenom.
He's absolutely. He was high school teammates with PJ Duke. He's a beast. He's beaten Gabe Arnold several times in freestyle. You got him, or you got Barr, or you got Facundo moving up because, assuming, Haynes can beat him at 74. So you got those three guys, and one of them or two of them are going to be burning a year, Like two of them are not going to make the lineup, and they're out of red shirts, and that's it. Then I got
crazy, Kevin?
What's that?
Would it be – it's not out of the realm of possibility that Levi Haynes wins the national championship, goes out on red shirt, and then can't ever find a starting spot back in the lineup? Or is that impossible? That's kind of possible.
Look at the people you got coming in. You got, the guys I got listed at red shirts. PJ Duke is one of the most electrifying offensive wrestlers you will see in the neutral position.
Might be the most.
He is an animal.
You can't stop talking about PJ Duke, Kevin. It's all.
Yeah. Oh man, he's my dude, man. It broke my heart when he didn't go to Cornell, but I knew it was going to happen. But you got look at the guys on red shirt. Hankel's an animal. Hankel might not ever see the Penn State starting lineup. Asher Cunningham, total beast. Desmond, these are guys that place at states in Pennsylvania every single year. So yeah. Then and the thing is, it would work out really good for Penn State if the Olympic year was 1 year sooner, because people can take Olympic red shirts, but they got to wait till 2028. So this 26-27 season coming up, I have on the last part. Van Ness is gone, so I just slid a 49-pounder in there, Connor Pierce. I got Kazak back in, Messenbrink, Haynes. Then you got the same disaster going on at 184. Then I asked myself, where is PJ Duke going to go? Where's Hankel going to go?
PJ Duke might be that dude who goes wherever he wants to go, dude, because he might be that good. And it is also interesting you bring up the manipulation of that Olympic redshirt year that was so clearly taken advantage of this past season by wrestlers who didn't even attempt to make the Olympics. Yeah. Maybe we can get that right 4 years from now, Kevin. But
it's pretty lame, and they're gonna be run. There's no way they keep all these guys. I just don't see it, because
no. And here's the good news:
this talented, they gotta go.
Here's the good news. Now they have an option, because Rome is split. David Taylor, RBY, they're all. It's like the next up and coming Penn State happening out there in Oklahoma State, the Cowboys. By the way, Kevin, I want to give you a chance to wrap this up, and then we also have Aaron on the line from Wrestle Madness. I want to bring him on, but just real quick while we're talking about Cowboys, unbelievable documentary on Netflix, Wyatt Earl and the OK Corral shooting. Go watch it. It's a true story. It's unbelievable, dude. This is like a real story about the Wild West. Anyway, Kevin.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
This is an incredible 3-year plan.
And I know people are going to, probably, I don't know about this, but this is just from what I'm hearing and what logically makes sense. I don't have a plan. So if Kale asks, I don't have a plan.
Well, Kevin, I'm a little worried about losing you to the Penn State recruiting staff with all this research, but
no. But the last thing I did there is I put Desmond in and moved Lillidahl up and Davis up, because these guys are going to grow. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know. And you know what? Nobody can predict what the heck's going to happen a couple years out. But the point of this whole thing was just so people could see what a cluster this is going to be at Penn State. And they got guys that are going to be on the bench that are like top 15 on the big board, and they're going to be sitting. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah. No, Kevin, I appreciate you doing this research. Pretty incredible. But we got to move on here, because we've had Aaron on the line here. He's waiting. And hold on. Let me yikes, dude. Jamie and Wayne, my dad, folks, if you're wondering, on some vacation plans, some PTO plans out here, folks. And we're hoping to get him back soon. But, all right, let me bring Aaron in here because this Wrestle Madness, this is a big week, folks. And Aaron, can you hear me? Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay. There
How we doing, Zach?
Great. How are you? Just
Doing
got your
good,
bracket up here. And why don't you talk a little bit about this week's bracket to vote on?
Yeah, so we took a little pause there from last time we talked because of the Olympics. And at that time, we had the 150, 157 pound GOAT Madness bracket. And that is concluded. We had ended up having Nolf as the champion, McElravy second place, and Nate Carr with finishing up third, sneaking past Chalice, right? That was a big favorite.
Yeah.
Not
I
even
think I had Chalice in there. I do think I had Nolf winning though, but
yeah,
respectable, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great weight class. So, but one of my favorite weight classes that we put together. We're currently on the 118, 125 pound bracket, and I think what makes this bracket so intriguing to me is that there's so many local, when I say local, PA boys, specifically Southwest PA boys in this bracket. You have Nico, you have Spencer Lee, you have Jeremy Hunter, my boy Teague Moore sneaking in there. And then the other side of the state, you have Jack Kuvo. And then some of the Pennsylvania university colleges, like Ricky Bonomo coming through. I mean, he was at a wrestling camp at Clarion when I was, 12, 13 years old. Him and his brother Rocky, like doing ninja shows and stuff. Just an awesome character. Yeah, it's just a fantastic bracket because there's so many names and individuals that I know of and are friends with. So the first round, it's just loaded with matchups that are
absolutely no. It's but Aaron, let me ask you before we get into some of maybe the matchups. I want to ask you seed here, and come on, is that some recency bias there? Now, he is a Pennsylvania wrestler, but Spencer Lee, is that a justified number one ranking there, Aaron? Justify that to me. Great
question. A buzzword in the GOAT Madness world. We remember what's most recent, but, again, last time we talked, it's all based on stats. He's number one seed because he has not only 3 NCAA titles, which so does Abbas and Greg Johnson and Bonomo, but he also has 2 Hodge trophies. So that puts him above everyone else just because of the medal that he has stacked in his trophy case. So,
well, I was just giving you a hard time, Aaron. I certainly agree with that. And it looks like Spencer's going up against number 32, Kelvin Jackson, here in the first round. Why don't you? What would be your most intriguing first round matchup here in this bracket?
Well, I'll start off by saying, there's like 8 hours left in voting, 7 hours left in voting, and it's pretty safe. The guaranteed wins, like Spencer's moving on, Abbas is moving on, Mills is moving on, Bonomo's moving on, Soriano easily won his first round bracket, a matchup, McDonough also, and Nickerson cleaned up. So they're moving on. But as far as most intriguing, I think your two most intriguing matches in that first round are Gonzalez versus Delgado. Man, would I like to see that in real life. That fantastic bout. And also, Coach versus Wrestler, Glory versus Dubuque. Those are the 2 closest in voting right now that we have. So it's going to come down to the wire. We'll see who sneaks through the first round into the second.
Okay, and then why don't you explain how long after the first round voting ends, how long everyone has for the second, third round, and so on?
Well, you got to get the voting in. It all ends, and then the results are just kind of partitioned out after that. So you have to vote by midnight tonight, all the way through the
Oh,
bracket.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, and then
Yeah.
you'll see it
So
finalized.
yeah, you'll see it
Folks, go to
finalized. We just kind of.
It's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
WrestleMadness.com.
Correct. Yeah.
What's the next weight class you have on deck lined up?
Oh, that's going to be the 177, 184 pound weight class.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got a special guest that we're hoping to help come in and break down that bracket for us. An actual goat that's competing in that bracket.
Aaron
So that's
Brooks.
gonna be exciting.
All
Nope,
right.
nope, you're not right.
Kevin, you got a guess? Wow. Okay. I'm intrigued.
I don't
I'm
know.
intrigued.
If you think Southwest PA, that might narrow it down for you. But
Okay.
yeah, a local boy that
Look at Kevin over there. He's going nuts until he actually figures this out. I guarantee you, dude, he's going nuts.
yeah, it
But
should be fun. But so I
Yeah.
looking further into the bracket, and it's hard to say what happens, but I think your semis, and I'm anxious to hear what you guys have picked for the semis. I think the Lee McDonough bout to get in there. You have Iowa and Iowa. It'll be interesting to see who comes through. But if we go with the number one seed Chalk making it through, it's going to be the Mills Bonomo matchup versus Lee in that semis.
ooh, ooh.
That's a good one.
Well, I'll tell you,
And
maybe whether it's recency bias or not, Aaron, I don't think I could help myself from picking Spencer Lee to win this bracket, in all honesty. And
yeah,
I mean, big Iowa fan. They love us out. They love BG wrestling in Iowa. I hear
yeah,
them
you
talking
said
all the
that.
time. They say it all the time out in Iowa. I just keep hearing we love
Yeah.
BG. I said, wow, I don't even get it. I'm a big fan of Iowa. I guess I get it, but I don't know.
I came
Aaron,
up
this
through
is
in the mid '90s, late '90s though, and yeah, he's a little after my time, but Stephen Abbas was
Yeah.
untouchable in his day. So
There's I mean the second round, the matchups, if you look at, if according to like what I picked anyway, you got Spencer Lee versus Troy Nickerson, and a lot of people don't remember how good Troy Nickerson was, but he was plagued with injuries, right?
yeah,
But he was the first 5-time state champ in New York when there was one
yep,
division, or no, there was two when he did it. I'm sorry. But he he got a first, a second, a third at NCAA's, and had he not been so injury prone, who knows with him. So that's a great matchup. Then you got I got Gene Mills versus Joe Gonzalez. I had Joe Gonzalez upsetting Delgado.
uh-huh.
And if you remember, that was one of the best NCAA finals
Oh,
ever.
that 79.
Mills and Gonzalez.
Yeah.
That
If you
was
haven't
what was
seen
the
it,
score? It
watch
was like
that.
16-13 or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, watch that on YouTube if you haven't seen it. Anyone who's watching this, listening, what a fantastic match! And if
Oh,
it
it was
was the
amazing.
3-point takedown rule, Gonzalez has that match. I think.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
ooh, good point.
Mean Gene did his thing on top. But what a battle that was. And then so I have Spencer taking out Cornell guys back to back, taking out Nickerson, then Travis Lee. But then I have Abbas winning this. I have Abbas.
Whoa. What? Say that again,
I
Kevin?
have Abbas.
Oh,
Here's the thing, though. I got to admit, I don't know much about this Greg Johnson guy, and I should. I know he's a 3-time champion, but do you know much about him? I don't know
I was
a
going to
lot
say,
about
full
him.
transparency, I have not voted yet, but I'll also say that's one of the cool things about voting on these brackets is it actually makes you go and do your own research and you just
your
naturally
homework and
learn
learn.
about these
Yeah.
guys. Yeah. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
watched the
I mean,
video. I watched the video on the National Wrestling Hall of Fame website about Greg Johnson. He wrestled Gary Brees in one of the finals. I believe it was his senior year. He ended up beating Gary Brees. But from all accounts, I mean, Greg Johnson was just a hammer, a grinder, beat the crap out of you. And none of his matches were easy, but he just outlasted everybody. So yeah, it's that kind of that era that I'm just scratching the surface on,
Right.
putting these together. But yeah, what a great character.
Yeah, it's tough, because I want to give the guy his fair due when I'm picking, but I'd have to watch some tape on him just to see how it's good though. Like Zach said, it's good to learn about. Gives you a chance to learn about these guys. And there's a lot of really good names in there. Again, I think you guys did a fantastic job with the bracket. A fantastic job putting these names in.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible, Aaron. And for anyone who's watching, I'll also say this. These are like in the past brackets, but as the season comes up and approaches and develops, we have bracket challenges for the tournament. So that's even more exciting, in my opinion.
Yes.
That's like fantasy football, which you're all having your fantasy football drafts right now. Everyone's having them right now. This is that in wrestling. So get engaged. I mean, this is
cool. And we've already put those events up. They're future events, but you could go to WrestleMadness.com now. Vote on the GOAT Madness bracket that's currently up, the current event, and then you can also join the 2025 Big Ten tournament and the 2025 NCAA tournament and start setting up your leagues now, today.
And folks, BEG Wrestling, we are doing that on your platform this year, Aaron. So stay tuned. WrestleMadness.com.
And it's easy too. This thing is so easy. Nobody be worried about getting into it. I mean, you just click. It's bubbles, big bubbles. You click the bubble, it goes on.
It's easier. It's easier than getting an offer from Iowa, as some people say. I'm just kidding.
And the scoring.
I love Iowa. They love us in Iowa.
The scoring during the event, how quickly it updates your scores and tracks your results, and keeps your leaderboard for your private leagues as well as the overall madness ranking. It's our programmers did a wonderful job. We're really proud of the product we're putting out there, and I really appreciate you guys mopping it up. Thank you.
Listen, did you hear that?
Absolutely.
Folks? They had programmers run that website. Hey, you sold me at programmers, Aaron. Hey, thanks for coming on and joining the show, folks. Go to WrestleMadness.com. They have programmers running their website, dude. We don't. You're looking at a programmer here. Yikes. But Aaron,
this is way over my pay grade for sure.
But hey, let's have you on, and we'll continue to talk about this and break down these results as they happen.
Yeah, we'll introduce the next weight and sum up this weight next time we talk, huh?
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good, man.
Right. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Aaron, folks. Go to WrestleMadness.com. Thank you, Aaron, for joining us. And Kevin, we're running long here, dude. Oh, my goodness. We're almost at 50 minutes, but there's some big topics, dude. I know you're probably worn out. You're probly exhausted over there, aren't you? You've been. You
know what I did is I dug too deep into these topics, man. I was up too late.
I know I got some big ones I'm gonna just hit you with to wrap up the show. How about that?
That's why I was a mess at the beginning. I got my stuff all over. I'm missing up names. It was a disaster. But
no, you have not been a disaster. You've been on point this week, Kevin. I must say. But before we wrap this up, go ahead.
Yeah, there is a couple really important things, though, Zach. World Championships for non-Olympic weight, the trials are coming up September 14th and 15th in Omaha, Nebraska.
Guess who's back?
And JB is going to be back.
Burroughs is back. Back again. Play the music. JB
like
is back.
Too.
And Jordan Oliver.
And
well, but Burroughs is back. Okay?
Yes, JB.
What do you expect out of him? JB and JO, do you expect either of those to deliver a title? Be honest.
I think, JO is a bad dude, man, but I think he's been he needs to get back in the swing of things. I know he's fighting, but it's just different. JB, why not? Marsteller, I heard, is going down to 79, so that'll be a good battle. And remember, the Olympic people cannot wrestle on this. And I know everyone's asking why. This is meant to be an addition to that. So these are the weights that weren't Olympic weights.
Yeah.
So they're giving these guys a chance to wrestle. So they don't want people, it's not for them to wrestle twice. It's just to get more opportunity to wrestle. Yanni is having surgery. He's not going to be at 70. He was originally going to be at 70. Tore his labrum. And I heard he did it at Oklahoma State when he was practicing. I don't know.
What?
It's 100% true, but that's what I heard.
Yanni tore his labrum practicing at Oklahoma State. Is that what I just heard you say?
That's what I heard. I don't know it to be 100% true, but I heard that's what happened.
What?
Oklahoma
State is taking over.
Vito and Zahid are going to have byes to the finals in the best 2 out of 3. So Vito at 61 and Zahid at 92. Because of their placement at Worlds last year. Zahid medal.
You know what's great? You just made me think of something real quick, Kevin.
Yeah.
I think it was Pat Minio made a comment that someone should make a documentary on that Zahid singlet pull point for Aaron Brooks, because the way that changed the course of history in so many different ways. And I actually agree.
Well, I mean.
Now, David Taylor's not at the Olympics, doesn't win a gold medal. He goes to Oklahoma State. Aaron Brooks, that's actually an interesting point.
Man. It's just kind of boo. It's
Butterfly
like the
effect.
fork in the road, it changed everything. That singlet pull changed everything.
Yeah, I thought that was fascinating.
And for the record, though, man, I honestly think Zahid would have beaten the David Taylor that we saw. On a side note, because the David Taylor we saw didn't shoot.
Was not David Taylor. No,
it wasn't him, man. It wasn't him.
I agree with that. But listen, you also talk. But before you go on that, and you mentioned dogs and possible Burroughs opponents. What I guess it's not going to be Nolf now, right? Because he's in this BJJ Craig Jones Classic.
Nolf is retired. I heard he's retired.
Nolf is retired, folks. Nolf is, and he was in that BJ. And I must say, people were kind of giving him a hard time. He put up a fight, dude. He went up against the number 1 ranked kid, a world champion, and gave that kid a run for his money. And let me tell you something. Yeah, the rules are weird. They're weird, and it's a little funky. But I also learned from watching all that, dude, you can get seriously hurt in that sport. Like, if you don't know what you're doing. Like, Nolf got in some positions. I was like, dude, don't wreck his whole.
Yeah. Don't wreck your knee. I have a question for people in the comments. I'm new to watching this, the jiu-jitsu stuff, but that match Nolf had was awesome. It was exciting. So my question is,
it was so fun.
Was it just exciting because Nolf didn't know exactly what he was doing, so he put himself in curious positions, and he's a really good athlete, which made things interesting? Or are the matches, do they generally go like that? Are they exciting like that? I'd like to know, because I would watch that. But something tells me that they're usually not like that. I don't know.
I'll give you my answer, and I would say they're not usually like that, because all due respect to the kid he was fighting, could have went to the ground and dominated Nolf in any time. But he did Nolf the respect, and he said he wanted to beat him on his feet as a wrestler, and actually did that with all due respect, and went all 3 rounds and played that game, which I thought made it entertaining. I do not think it would have been an entertaining fight if that kid would have just gone out there for the quickest victory possible, because once they were on the ground,
really?
Dude, did you see that kid once he was on the ground? Absolutely lethal. Like, it was almost any single position. I'm like, oh, Nolf's dominating. And they're like, oh, he's almost got a triangle locked up. It's like, this dude is wrapping stuff up from angles I could not even imagine. Like, it's a whole different sport, dude.
Yeah, these guys live this, They live it. And meanwhile, Nolf just started it. I think Nolf has the athleticism to be really good, though,
Dude, but all due respect to Nolf, what a dog, dude. He came out there like an absolute bull and went at him, dude. Like, my respect level for Nolf went to the ceiling after watching that, dude.
Absolutely, man. And I think it's It was entertaining. I'll give it that. And Patrick Downey didn't look that bad, man.
Patrick Downey's first match. Oh my goodness, I got a little respect for Patrick Downey now, dude. He came out and beat that MMA guy. Yeah. Beat him up. Just beat him up. And I thought, whoa, okay, I like this Downey. I like this Pat Downey, dude. Like,
absolutely,
let's go out and a little less talk.
Match too.
I didn't watch the second. I gotta watch that second match.
You should have won that second match, man. But yeah, that was pretty wild. Bo Bassett's got his schools down to 26.
Down to 26. Any big names out?
There's still a D2 school in there. Why? That Pitt Johnstown or whatever. That's probably because it's near where he lived.
Yeah.
But that's like whatever.
Respect.
There's 26 schools left. 53 are gone. We all know what the last 6 or 7 are going to be, and they're all still in there. Not really any surprises.
I don't think so.
And another thing I just wanted to touch on was, we didn't really get a chance to last time because we had an awesome dude on interviewing him last week, Sean Burnett. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. It's a great interview. Great guy.
Very transparent guy, yeah.
Very, very gracious with his time, too. He gave us almost an hour. But Olympics, kind of like the aftermath, some thoughts. I don't know if you had any, but a couple things that I noticed was if you haven't seen the 125 match, 125 kilogram final, you got to watch that. It was honestly hilarious. I mean, it looked like for the second Olympics in a row that he was going to blow. He blew it to Gable last time. He was up. He thought he teched the guy this time, and then they changed the call, and all of a sudden he goes from being a tech fault to winning by a point, and then he does the celebration over him, which was hilarious.
Over there, yeah.
But what a mess was that. And then another great match to watch was Musakayev and Dudayev for bronze at 65 kilograms. I think it was 12 to 11 or 13 to 12 final. It was an awesome match. They were going all over. Dudayev's a Russian as well. They're both Russians wrestling for other countries, which is funny.
It reminds me, I saw a stat that there was actually more Russian wrestlers in these Olympics than the past Olympics, even though Russia as a country was not allowed in.
19 of them. 19 Russians in this Olympics. Okay, crazy. Wow. There was 6 or 7 alone at 74 kilograms, which that is what I wanted to get into next. I went through and watched all the 74 kilogram matches, and did they want that dude to win or what? Because his quarterfinal match was the worst screw job I've ever seen. They called passivity on this poor guy 3 times in 13 seconds. That's how.
I saw some wacky passivity calls, dude, at those Olympics. I'll tell you right now.
Called him, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to let the guy just shoot on you and take you down? They reviewed it at the end, and the guy was like, "Are you kidding me?" He ended up getting a bronze medal, so he makes it to the final, right? He's wrestling Takatani, and the worst pin call I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he's up literally like this. Everyone sees it, and the ref's like, he's not moving. Calls the pin. What was that, man? That was just horrible.
Kevin, now that you bring this up, dude, we did not actually do a lot of shows during the Olympics. I completely forgot about a major point that I wanted to make about the Olympics, which was very clearly no one is rooting for America. These stalling calls, let's start with the seedings. How awful. Can you literally put the American up against the toughest person in the first round ever? What, you might as well. You might as well have done that because that's basically what you did. And then these stalling calls, some of these stalling calls were so outrageous, dude. I'm like, how? How could you? I don't understand. We're being the aggressor, and so it was very clear to me that, they weren't exactly the biggest American fans out there, Kevin. I wanted to make that point.
I kind of, when it comes to the draws, right? In some sense, that's not a bad thing because if you're going to lose, you want to lose to the guy that's going to go to the final to get pulled back into repechaage. I can never say the word. I hate saying it.
Repechaage, yeah.
Right. Whereas if, unlike, Kuhn, he got screwed. He had to wrestle the Iranian who then lost to Lopez. So he was done. But yeah, there were some definitely tough draws, and you know what? They got to go to these ranking series tournaments like Seabass does to get a damn seed. You know,
We love
and
Seabass
clearly that's not going to work because they're going to have to figure out another seeding thing because it's like, well, we tried this, and you know what? Apparently they don't give a crap. Nobody's going to these seeding tournaments. And if you go to them and you're like the majority of the good guys aren't going to them, then that doesn't help you either because you'll be seeded, but you'll have one of these really good guys drawn in against you. So it's kind of like, I don't know, but the calls were so, I don't know, man. There was a lot of strange calls. I will say this: the ordeal with Vinesh, there, the woman who got didn't make weight. They did the right thing by not giving her the silver medal, I think, because.
Well, clarify that. Well,
because
wait, you said they think they did the right thing by not giving her the silver
yeah,
medal?
because you got to make weight the next day. If you're going to let yourself go, everyone else is trying to make weight. You could get significantly bigger, significantly more hydrated, and have an advantage. And then if you're going to just say you got someone on the other side that's just like unstoppable, right? And your main concern is making to the final, get the silver. You could just let yourself go, man. Eat, drink, get hydrated, not worry about weight.
Tell me why it shouldn't be like, okay, you made weight this day. You're eligible for all those matches you won, but if you don't win the next day, it's just automatic losses from there out.
Because everyone else in the weight class has in their mind that they're going to have to make weight the next morning if they win, so they don't go nuts and get their weight way up. And if you're that big, if you're as big as she was, which she's huge, you need.
Said I thought Sarah was going to have a problem with her in the finals before.
Yeah,
she even.
And that's another thing.
I was worried.
Now, just because I gave him credit for not giving her the silver, which is clearly in the rules too, there's two things they got really wrong about this. One is they called Sarah up that day and said, "You won the gold medal. You won it."
Oh, and yeah, that was a complete clown circus show, dude.
They
told Sarah for an hour was under the impression that she had an Olympic gold medal. Again, goes back to my point. They're screwing us out there, Kevin. They're screwing America.
That was a screw job, man. What's stopping her from having some champagne, drinking some? Let's go get loaded. Let's celebrate.
I know.
What if
I would have been drunk. I would have been drunk an hour after a gold medal. I can guarantee you that. And there would have been nothing wrong with that.
You guys really screwed me over on this one.
Yeah.
But then another big screw job is there's nothing in the rules that say who they're going to put in the finals. They just were lazy about it and said, the semifinal loser. Now,
yeah, that was.
I'm glad they did that because I'm not saying that she would have lost to the Japanese woman, but it would have been a much tougher match. But how can you just pick someone? The whole point of repetrage is making it so it doesn't matter when you're facing the eventual finalist. It doesn't matter the order. You're all going to get the same chance to win a bronze. Well, this is not that. This is just saying, well, since you faced her later on in the tournament, you're going to go to the finals rather than anyone who faced her earlier on in the tournament. It's a complete contradiction.
Well, it's a complete circus, dude. The whole Olympics
was
a circus. Let's be honest, folks. The Olympics was a circus. It was a clown show, dude. I mean,
yeah. And then,
I'm not going to get into politics, but those ceremonies were clown shows. They were clown shows, dude.
Breakdancing
and they were screwing us over the seating and the stalling calls. And let's call Sarah and tell her she won the gold medal and let her sit on that for an hour.
That's the worst. I don't know why that's not being talked about more. And another thing, which I had thoughts about it. Zane Rutherford had concussion problems before the Olympics started. And it's kind of weird that, I don't know. What was the thought of having him go with that problem? He obviously had the problem again and couldn't finish. It was kind of squirrely, I thought. It's not like you're going to tell the guy he can't go. He qualified that weight, what he had to do to qualify that weight, man. I can see where people are like, what are we going to tell him? He can't go because he could get a concussion, but that kind of sucked because I'm still in awe that Seabass has more medals at 65 kilograms than any American in the last almost 3 decades.
Kevin, I'm going to make a request that you say his name. I hate when you say Seabass, dude.
That's why I say it, man.
I know. I know that's why I say it. I hate it, dude. Stop saying Seabass.
How about
dude.
we have a little powwow about it?
Oh, and don't say powwow either, dude. 2 words are driving nuts.
Sebastian Rivera. Yeah, I mean, the dude's got a silver the dude's got a silver at the Worlds and a bronze at the Olympics.
He knows what he's doing.
0-5 against Americans, and he's been teched every single time. But
that's impressive in itself. I mean,
what?
Yeah.
Like his ability to avoid the people. Now, all due respect, and I said this last time, he got it done against a guy that no American has beaten in O'Cheer. He earned that medal, you know. But
yeah,
wow, man. I mean, talk about avoiding a lot of landmines. And he did have the closest match against the eventual winner. But, you know, that's it. To me, it looks like folk style is just the grit of him got it. And then last thing I just want to say real quick is I don't think people realize Lopez winning the 5 gold medals. Do you realize all the stuff that has to go right for him to win that?
Okay.
I mean, you got to be healthy.
The Greco heavyweight, yes, from Cuba.
You have to be the best in your nation for that long. You have to be healthy each time this rolls around, and you're a big guy, and you're aging, and things are going, and you're continuing to be the best, continuing to be healthy, and it will never
first
ever
person
be
to
broken.
do it over 5 Olympics, and he did it in what I would make the case is the most difficult sport to do it in, wrestling. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be one thing if he was like a
consistent.
jumper or okay. I mean, now or maybe like a break dancer. We saw how good they were.
Oh God! Did you see that?
No, this dude is a wrestler, dude, and at the heavyweight position. He's the GOAT.
It will never
He's
be
the
broken
true
down.
GOAT
And that was his
of Greco.
That was his 6th Olympics too. It wasn't even his 5th Olympics. It was his
he
6th.
didn't even play. He just missed placing as like an 18-year-old. He is the true GOAT of Greco.
Dude, he should just keep going, man.
I would.
He can win any match 3-1.
He won this year, and he didn't even practice. He literally, they said he didn't even wrestle, dude. He just showed up, and he starts throwing grown men around like rag dolls, dude.
Just do that gut wrench, man. It's crazy.
What?
Is there the one thing that I also looked at, Zach, was outside of the Olympics was, you know, if Carter Starocki is going 184, there's so many implications to that, not just to Penn State. We beat that to death. I'm not going to go over that. But if you think about it, is Keckeisen and Plot going to stay at 184? You know, I would think so. I mean, because if you go up, you're just avoiding him, and it's seen. And Keckeisen already got a national title, so it's not like he's out there fishing for his title. And that match is going to be an absolute, like,
that'll
you
be
want
a dog fight.
Which match are they going to end on? That's the match they're going to end on.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
I think that you got a guy, Keckeisen, who was 90% bonus rate last year, almost won the Hodge.
I'll be honest, man. I take Keckeisen right now.
Really?
Yeah.
This is. I'll tell you what. When Starocki originally said he was going to go 197, I kind of thought it was lame because I'm like, man, that's the safe route because Buchanan is no Keckeisen, right? And O'Toole's going up to 74. And I'm not saying that Starocki can't beat Keckeisen or O'Toole, but I'm saying is there's a lot of risk there with your 5th title. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're talking about he wants to win a Hodge, this might be the only way he can win a Hodge because if he's not a bonus machine like Keckeisen. He goes 197. Past credentials don't count, remember? And Keckeisen's going to have maybe 100% bonus rate. So if you go 184, he's taking that out of the voters' hands by if he beats Keckeisen, he's the man, you know? But
that's true.
Yeah, that's
interesting point there. Could Carter go his whole career and never win a Hodge? Maybe a topic for discussion next week, Kevin.
Yep.
I'm a little tired, dude. We're at 1:10. We're running a little long. You have any final thoughts here before I wrap us up?
No, man. Next time we'll just have a little powwow, talk about sea bass, and get this done. You know.
Folks, news this week: Iowa is a ticking time bomb. Gable Stevenson is getting cut from the Bills. You heard it here first.
Stevenson.
The Olympics were rigged. And Kelly's at the beach all weekend. I'm getting naked and running around the house starting right now, Kevin.
And you got a problem with powwow and sea bass?
Folks, you thought wrestling was boring? Think again. Kevin, unbelievable research this week, man. You brought it. Kevin brought it, folks. I was bringing it.
Thanks, Zach.
And
You brought it.
Wrestle Madness brought it. Everyone brought it. This is a great week. This is a great show, Kevin. Hey, man, we're getting better. And we're getting ready for the season. So,
we're warming up.
Let's go, baby. Like and subscribe. And until next time, folks, we are here.